All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to unpack a really simple but honestly powerful method for parents to become strength detectives. We're going to figure out what truly makes your kids tick. And this isn't just about what they're good at, it's about discovering what really, truly makes them come alive.
So, does this sound familiar? You see your child and they are great at something. Maybe it's math or soccer or playing the piano, and you praise them, you encourage them, but you can just tell they're going through the motions, right? There's no spark, no joy. It's a super common puzzle for parents.
This quote just nails the dilemma perfectly. You've got a 17-year-old who aces all her STEM classes, but has zero interest in a STEM career. What she actually loves is visual communication. So, by all the external signs, she's a STEM kid, but her heart just isn't in it. And that gets up the huge difference we need to understand, the difference between a learned skill and a true strength. And that leads us to something called the performance trap. It's so easy for us as parents to just focus on the good grades or the trophies, right? But that's only one piece of the puzzle. Performance is important for sure, but it absolutely does not tell the whole story.
So, this is the key. We have to understand this difference. A true strength, it isn't just something you're good at, it's something that actually energizes you. It's something you choose to do. A learned behavior, on the other hand, well, it might look like a strength because the performance is there, but it feels draining, and you'd pretty much never choose to do it on your own time.
So, how do we avoid falling into that performance trap? Well, we need a new lens. We need a better tool to see past the surface level stuff and really get what's motivating our kids. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I mean, what if there was this simple, easy to use filter that could help you tell the difference between a genuine, energizing strength and something that's just a learned behavior? Well, that filter actually exists, and we're going to call them the three strength signals. Think of them as three key questions you can ask yourself as you're watching your child. And here they are. The three signals you're going to look for are performance, energy, and frequency. To spot a true strength, you need to see all three of these things working together. So let's break them down one by one. Okay, let's start with the one we all know, performance. Now, I know we just talked about the performance trap, but that doesn't mean performance isn't a crucial clue. It is. It's the starting point. So, what exactly are we looking for here? You're looking for clear signs that they're really competent at this. Does your child do things that seem way beyond their years? Do they pick up a new skill in this area, like shockingly fast? And is it a repeated pattern of success, not just a one-time fluke? If you see that, that's your first signal. Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. This is how we move beyond the performance trap. Performance by itself is not enough. The second signal, and maybe the most important one, is energy. Does the activity light them up or does it wear them down? A true strength is a natural energizer. And what's so great about this one is that you can actually see it. You can see the energy. Look for that real enthusiasm, or notice when they get so into something that they totally lose track of time. That excitement, that little spark in their eye, that tells you you're onto something big. And this story just illustrates that energy signal perfectly. So this 10-year-old girl goes horseback riding for the first time. She doesn't even get to ride on the trails, but she is completely captivated. Finding a horsehair in her sock wasn't annoying. It was like a sacred relic to her. That reverence, that pure joy, that is the positive energy of a strength that's starting to bloom. So we've got performance and we've got energy. The final piece of the puzzle is frequency. But listen, this isn't just about how often they do something. The real question is, do they choose to do it? On their own, without any nagging from you? Yeah, this signal is all about their own internal motivation. You're looking for that natural pull, that drive to just do the activity. Do they go looking for it in their free time? Do they ask to do it again and again? When a child voluntarily goes back to something over and over, that is a massive clue you've found a real strength. This story about a little 3-year-old boy named Ari just says it all. 4 solid hours building with Legos. Nobody told him to do it. He wasn't doing it for a grade. He was just in his own world, so into it that even eating was just something he did on the side. That is what high frequency, driven by pure passion, looks like. Okay, so now we have our 3 signals: performance, energy, and frequency. We can finally bring it all together, and we can see really clearly
the difference between a true strength and just a learned behavior.
This table just lays it all out. A true strength, it's got high performance, high energy, and high frequency. But look at a learned behavior. You might see high performance, sure, but the energy is low, it's draining, and the frequency is low too, unless it's required, like for homework. And here's the most important takeaway. It is not a pick and choose menu. A true strength checks all three boxes. You gotta have the skill, which is the performance, the passion, which is the energy, and the internal drive, which is the frequency. All three have to be there. And now you've got the tools. You have the 3-signal filter. You are officially ready to be a strength detective for your child. It's all about shifting your perspective, from finding flaws to finding those sparks. This analogy is just so perfect. Think about trying to write with your non-dominant hand. I mean, you can do it, right? But it's slow, it's frustrating, it's exhausting. Constantly harping on a kid's weaknesses feels exactly like that to them. But focusing on their strengths, that's like letting them use their dominant hand. It's natural, it's energizing, and it's so much more effective. And ultimately, this kind of reframes your whole job as a parent. Because when you focus on strengths, you're not just building skills. You're building their confidence, their resilience, and this deep sense of, this is who I am. Your role shifts from being a critic, pointing out what's wrong, to being a champion who finds what lights your kid up and then helps them build a life around it. So, I'll leave you with a little challenge. Now that you have your detective kit, performance, energy, and frequency, what true strength are you going to look for this week? Pay close attention, watch for the signals. You might be absolutely blown away by the incredible talents you uncover.